Hey guys, it's 𝗧𝗛𝗡𝗚𝗡𝗚 here, and welcome back to another build challenge. So as you can tell from the title of today's video, we will be doing a very strange challenge. We will be designing a house in The Sims 4, but without any of the build mode materials. So that means no walls, windows, doors, columns, floors, roofs, pools, terrain paints, trees, plants, water fountains. I think you guys pretty much get my drift. So with that said, we obviously will only have the buy catalog available and potentially some debug as well. As you can tell, we are in the world of Sulani, and I'm going to try and build some kind of small home, hopefully a vacation home of some sort. So let's jump on in and see how this goes. All right, so starting things off, this is going to be interesting. We don't really have any kind of roof structure. But I am thinking we could possibly do jungle adventures. I think that could be a possible solution. Maybe something like this. I think what we can kind of do is create a rough blueprint. So obviously we're not going to have any walls, but maybe we can lay something out here. So some kind of entrance area. They kind of connect. Maybe if I spin them around. Okay, that's not too bad. I do think these will protect your Sims from the elements, so I'm going to go with that. I'll probably keep the entrance like this, and then maybe build out a larger area towards the back. So maybe a nice L shape. All right, the walls, you guys. The walls are a little strange. I'm thinking we could possibly do eco lifestyle. I do know that we have those sort of vine trellis wall pieces, so that could be a possible solution. Could we use a random plant sculpture? Maybe. Okay, we also have this. We do have a floral trellis, which actually would be kind of cool. It may be a little bit much though, so this could be an option, but I'm gonna see what else we have. We do have this, like I mentioned, we do have this piece. It's not really private, so maybe it's not the best option. We do also have these wood pieces as well, also from Eco Lifestyle. So we could make something like this, maybe create some kind of fence around this place. And it's gonna be kind of weird because they don't snap. So I'm gonna have to kind of float them like this perhaps. We could almost do a very small window. Perhaps, can I like slide it in place very carefully? This is really tricky, you guys. I don't have tools, so I'm kind of floating things in place very carefully. There we go, okay. We have a small window. We have a small window there, so I actually don't think that's too bad. This is a very tedious process, you guys, because we have a whole house to do in this style. So it's probably gonna take me a little bit, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I actually really like this, you guys. This is really cool. I do like how this is coming out. We've got a lot of metal studs poking through, which is a little scary. But I think I can save everyone's Sims. I'm gonna probably do the same thing on the inside, just so I can give it some padding because I don't like these pipes kind of poking through. The other thing we have to think about also is the flooring option, which I'm honestly a little concerned about because we don't have any floor tiles to work with. So I think we may end up using some debug from that. I do also want to mix up the front entrance a little bit because I don't want to use the same piece. I could try to create some kind of archway perhaps, like some kind of really cool entryway. And maybe I can even use some more stuff from the Jungle Adventures pack, kind of like those stone sort of block designs that do have little peepholes in them. So maybe that could work here. I can't find this option, you guys. I think it may be in build mode. So if it is, I am screwed. However, we could do the plant options from the Eco Lifestyle pack. So we could do this, and we also have this one as well, just to have a little bit of a design element. So there is this. Yeah, I think that kind of works. I think it's coming together. Maybe I could do something else to the entrance. Maybe I could put up perhaps a curtain and see how that goes. I don't even know if the curtains are going to snap onto this. So this might be a little bit of a nightmare, but we'll see. Could do something like this from Island Living, which actually works fairly well. I think it actually floats in place. I'm going to use this open curtain piece just like this, just so we have a little bit of an accent on the top. So I think this is pretty good. Yes, it is. And I'll float it in place like so. Could also fake some planter boxes, which could be really cool. So I could do this. I could use the indoor plant options and then see if something actually works. We do have this from City Living, which is pretty cool. It is a planter box. It does have a really interesting design on it. Does it fit this build though? I think it almost could. Maybe something like this. Now, the thing is, you guys, I don't think we have any awnings available because everything that is in the roof structures, this has all of the awnings here. Now, if I can find it in the buy catalog, then I guess I can use it. But I don't think I can. I don't think anything is accessible. So that kind of stinks. Maybe I could use a shelf and create an awning that way. Maybe like this. Or we could even do maybe this one from Snowy Escape. I don't think anything really matches the color, so this might be a little odd, but here we go. We're gonna try it out. Okay, I think it's actually looking pretty decent so far. Maybe we need some trees. I don't know how we're going to do trees, you guys, because of course all of them are here in build mode and I just don't have access to that. I could possibly do debug. I think that could be a solution. I think the only problem with debug is I don't really know where the debug objects end and the build objects begin. So there's kind of a weird overlap. So maybe I'll try to stick with what we have here. We could use some bamboo like this. This may not be too bad just to make the lot a little bit more dynamic. So maybe something like this. I'm thinking we can probably do larger plants on the side. Maybe something like this. Just kind of scale it up like so. Maybe some over here as well. I think this might look a little weird, you guys, but I'm trying to figure out some kind of landscaping solution, because we just don't have any of these options available. So it could be something like this, could do this. This is a concrete pavement tile. This could almost work for the flooring inside, which may not be too bad if I do something like this, and then maybe put a few other ones towards this area as well. So I think this is the closest we're going to get for a floor option. It's not pretty, but I think it may have to do. Honestly, you guys, I'm going to be really happy when I get this paneling done, because it's a very hard and very repetitive process. I'm kind of teetering my finger over the touchpad, trying to line it up the best I can. But I think once we get the base down, we can actually go in and maybe give this house some nice interior design. At least we have access to everything in the catalog. So there is that. We can redeem the outside a little bit if we have to. All right, so I think we're good to go here. I did the best I could with stacking these wall pieces from Eco Lifestyle. So the metal pieces are fairly tucked away, so not perfect, but I think we can get started on the interior. What I'm thinking we could do is actually add one more piece like this, maybe have something extend out. This could be some kind of patio area if we don't want a living room, so this could be an option. The problem is I don't think we're going to be able to put down rugs just because we don't have a pure tile. So if I do something like this, unfortunately, it's just not going to show through, which is really sad. I don't really know how to correct that. I could actually delete this and then maybe use this option instead, which could work. I think it has enough space to fit inside. I could try putting a rug on top just to test it out, like maybe this one perhaps. And it actually works. That is actually not too bad. So I think I'll do that. With that said, we could do the entrance area. We could do this, have a nice little doormat here. I'm thinking we could also bring in the curtains once more. I'm going to try and repeat what I did on the front. Okay, I do think this looks good. I like how this mirrors the front. We're probably going to have to go to the night view because I will have to see what the lighting situation is going to look like, and I'm a little bit afraid of that, but I think we can fix it. Could use some Eco Lifestyle here, which is actually not too bad. It's too high up for some reason. Is it the height of the rooms? Because if that's the case, I can't change it. I cannot change it, which is not good. Yeah, no, I can't. I'm totally locked out of the build mode right now. So I guess what I can do is probably try a wall sconce, and I think it'll be low enough. I do like this option as well, also from Island Living, because I think it fits the feel. Probably gonna mix it up and maybe try this from the Seasons pack just so we have something different. One about here, kind of glitching through a little bit. It's a very arbitrary placement, you guys, but I think it's gonna have to do. Okay, I think this is looking pretty good so far. I do like the lighting on the outside front yard area. I think what I'll do next is probably put some maybe floor lamps just to make my life a little easier. Yeah, I do think this option from base game can work fairly well. I'm thinking we could probably do yellow once more to match the ones outside. So I do want to start with the bathroom first because I think that is the area that's going to need some privacy. So I could do Snowy Escape. I could go for something like this, or even the one from Island Living as well. So those are really cool. We do also need a sink, so we could do something more wooden like this, which I actually don't mind. We also have this from the Jungle Adventure pack, which actually looks pretty cool. And if we can use a similar wood, we'd be really good to go. But do we have it? Probably not. Okay, I think I will make my life easier. I will use the Island Living bathtub, and we do have a matching sink as well. So I think this will do. Scoochy, scoochy up against the wall until it clips. That's kind of the name of the game here, but I think it'll do. For the toilet, I'm thinking this option could work. It does sort of match the other appliances, so I think this will do here. All right, onto the mirror. I'm honestly concerned about the mirror, you guys, because I don't know if it's going to sit properly. I'm thinking we could do this from the Snowy Escape pack, and I guess we can kind of just float it in place, which actually works. I think what we need next is some kind of fabric, so I'm thinking we could do a rug. Ooh, I love this pattern. Maybe this one. Could even make it romantic with some petals. I think that's actually not too bad, you guys. Could we do some jungle adventures in here? Possibly. I'm thinking we could do this. We could even add in a little bit of tiny living in here because I do like the shelving unit that came for the bathroom. But where is it? Here it is. Perfect. So we could use this. I'll probably go for the darker option like so. The problem is we have a little bit of a weird space. We have this kind of open area here, which is okay. We could have a giant bathroom, but I don't know what the other side of it would be. I think that's kind of the struggle with this. I could actually add in a shower. It's going to be a very luxurious bathroom because if you guys know me, I'm usually not a big fan on doing bathrooms. They're just not really inspiring to me. But you know what? I think this is the time to do it. We're going to get creative. So here we go. We have a standing shower. Probably will put another towel next to the shower area because this towel rack is pretty far away. So got to make it a little bit more convenient for your Sims. I think I'm going to sneak this rug on over here. I think that's fairly decent if you're getting out of the shower. Ooh, we could do a small sitting area. I think that could work. I'm going to try to fit something small in this little corner. We could do something like this, something really fun that fits the theme. Kind of reminds me of a coconut. Almost like you're sitting in some kind of coconut that has been cracked open. Ooh, we could even do towels. That could be really cool. Probably from 𝗧𝗛𝗏𝗡𝗚. I'm pretty sure the item is a stack of towels, so I don't really know why it's not coming up. Stack of towels. Where are you? Where are you? Here we are. Pyramids of absorption. You would think they would put towels in the description, but apparently not. But anyways, here it is. I think this works great for this room. We could do another plant. You know what, you guys? I think we will do island living once more. I'm going to use this option here and just put it carefully by the window. I think it does fit with everything else. Definitely going to need some privacy because this is just a very bad privacy invasion. So let's see if we can use these island living curtains once more and carefully put them in place. All right. I think this is actually looking pretty good for the bathroom. Again, bathrooms are not really my favorite thing. And even though this one turned out pretty big, I do think it looks fairly decent. Okay, could we possibly use more of these? Maybe a fun little accent wall like this. Could even do this paneling once more. This paneling was very hard to put in place, but I think at the end of the day, it still looks good, so I can try using it again. Okay, bathroom is almost private. Bathroom is almost there. I'm thinking we could do a smaller piece here, and then potentially we could do a curtain covering up this area. Not sure if it's going to work perfectly, but I think this will do. Okay, so we have most of the wall filled in. I'm thinking we can probably use this also from the Island Living pack. Moving on, I think the bedroom is probably next. I think this is a pretty good area for it. We can have the bathroom attached to it, and hopefully it will be more private that way. So let's just shift it on over to the night view, see what we're working with. It's actually not too bad. I'm going to pull more of these base game floor lamps just like so. For the beds themselves, we could do more Island Living, probably something like this. Ooh, never mind. Forget island living. We're gonna go eco lifestyle. I think this is really fun. Loving the dark swatch. It is definitely blending into the bathroom just a little tiny bit. I think we can also get a pretty nice large accent rug here as well. Maybe like this. I think that could be pretty nice. All right, for the nightstands, let's see what we have available. Could do these again. Not sure if I want to double dip. Possibly Jungle Adventure. I think there's kind of a brown tone. The dresser will probably go along this area, so let me get that. Okay, definitely need some plant life. We definitely need some privacy. Gonna pull this curtain once more just to cover up this little area here. Ooh, some candles. Yes, we're gonna make this very romantic. Yes, this is like a honeymoon getaway. I would also like 2 paintings on either side, but I'm just not really sure how things are going to situate. I could go for more of the wall sculptures as well, probably again from Eco Lifestyle. I'm probably using this pack way too much, but I think it just works great. So I could do something like this. Ooh, we even have those objects from the Eco Lifestyle pack. I totally forgot. This could be really cool, possibly on the dresser itself. And maybe they're small enough. I think I can kind of sit them on top. All right, I think I'm really liking this bedroom. It's a little bit more funky than I would imagine, but I think it's a nice break from what I normally do, which is very kind of neutral and simple in the color palette. So I think this pretty much gets the job done. All right, panels are in place. Just gonna pop one of these guys up, and I think we are good, and we will have a nice divider for the bedroom area. Yikes. Okay, we're eating into the square footage now, so not cool. But I can move a few things around. I'm probably gonna move this lamp over here just so I can finish walling in this area. Okay, perfect. We fixed the wall, you guys. We fixed the wall. So here it is. I think I will actually move this lamp back. I'm thinking I could even do maybe a mirror, some kind of standing mirror perhaps. Ooh, we do have this one from Eco Lifestyle, which I do love, and I'll probably put it maybe right about here. Gonna grab the curtain once more like this, pull this guy over here, and then we will have another wall over here. So I think that will close off this area. Objects are not selecting very well here, you guys. I've had to kind of shimmy a lot of these tiles over, but as you can see, it's very hard to grab individual pieces, but I think we're really close. We're really close to getting these walls done. Okay, so we do have the kitchen up next. I think we're pretty much good to go in the other rooms, but again, we're gonna kick it back to the night view now, and I think I will use more of these trellis elements because I do want to mix up the area just a little bit. And then for the corner itself, we can probably use a few more of these panels from the Eco Lifestyle pack and probably have the kitchen kind of hug the corner itself. More than likely, I'll try to have some kind of entryway towards the backyard over here. And I think we should be almost set with the inside living space. All right, so let's probably start with a fridge, probably thinking something like Snowy Escape, because I do like these wood tones and we can kind of match the dark browns of the bedroom perhaps, so maybe something like this. We may be able to do the corner piece for the countertops, but honestly, you guys, I'm a little concerned because it doesn't really sit in too well, but maybe we can actually kind of make it go through the wood column itself. So it's a little bit of a cheat, but it could do. Yeah, I actually don't think this looks too bad. What I think I'm actually going to do is shift all of this inside. So I could take maybe this piece here, kind of tuck it into the wall just a little bit. Oh, I wish there was like one more tile. I feel like we needed one more tile of wall. So I could do a smaller piece like this, borrowing another piece of the wall. If I can click it, you guys, here we go, perfect. So I'll use this, I'll use a smaller piece like so. Could even use one of these lovely wall pieces from the Eco Lifestyle pack, because I do wish I can kind of close this ugly gap, which is very hard to fix. I could use something maybe a little bit more narrow perhaps, maybe like this. Okay, and back into the kitchen itself. We do have more space now. I can actually move over the fridge. I could also move it over like this perhaps. Okay, you guys, so as much as I don't want to, I think I will have to put the stove next to the fridge. I know it's a taboo, but I have lived in areas that do have the stove directly next to the fridge. At this point, we can probably scoochy this into the wall very carefully. I think there's still plenty of space for your Sims, hopefully. So I think that will do. Okay, maybe a smaller piece. This is kind of cutting into that. So it's a little tricky. It's a little tricky, you guys. Space is weird because I'm kind of working on the grid and I'm kind of not. So it's kind of an arbitrary game. But it does look fairly close. Probably go Snowy Escape for the trash can. I'll just kind of match everything else in the kitchen itself. Okay, so I think all of the essentials are in place, but I do think we need a little bit of clutter. So let me do that. Probably going to use, let's do Parenthood perhaps. Probably the Parenthood fruit basket, if you will. Let's do a little bit of tiny living here. I do love this object once more, kind of mirroring off the bathroom. So I do think it still feels like it's part of the set, and I'll probably put it right above the stove area as well. The dining area we can make fairly small. Is there a gap there? No, okay. It's the Jungle Adventure overhang kind of glitching out there, but that's okay. We'll use this as the dining space. Going to keep it fairly small because unfortunately there's just a very limited amount of space here. So probably something more so like this, or maybe even something like this from the cottage living pack. And then for chairs, could we mix it up and do some island living in here? Maybe something like this, something a little bit lighter. Ooh, we have these from Jungle Adventure as well, which really do fit great. The wood tone is fairly close enough, but we do have a pop of color. I think yellow is great, make it a little bit brighter in here. And it's still fairly close to the rest of the kitchen, I would say. Yeah, we do have some warm tones in here, so I think this is not too bad. Now, I will say this is the front entrance area, so I will probably put in the little hat rack that came with base game, just so we have a little bit more of a mudroom type of space. I would like to have a small armchair here, so maybe I can pull from possibly the bathroom area. So I'll use this once more. Speaking of shoes, I'll use the base game shoe rack, just like this. Yeah, I think it's working. I think it's working, you guys. Slowly and surely, it is coming together. All right, so I'm pretty good with the kitchen, I'd say. And the last thing we need to do now is create some kind of outdoor space. We didn't really have a living room, so that was kind of interesting. But at least we do have quite a bit of yard space, so we can create something unique for that. Okay, so jumping on in, I think I do want some kind of fence area here. Which honestly is a little bit tricky. I can use more possibly pieces from the Eco Lifestyle pack. I don't really know how well they're going to work. Ooh, we do also have these from City Living. We could do some kind of divider like this, which could be really cool if we do find a swatch that works. All right, this area is just not closing. It was so close, you guys, but it's not closing. What I think I will have to do is probably cut this on a corner as well. It's probably not going to line up perfectly, but I think this is probably going to be our best bet. Ooh, we could even use the plants from Jungle Adventure because I don't think they're locked in build mode. We do have these, which are really cool, and I could actually scale them down a little bit and have them hang over the edge. Some over here as well, giving this area just a little bit more privacy. Okay, what do we want out here? We do have the entrance just like so. Probably can put another large rug. Could we use one from inside perhaps? Maybe the one in the bedroom, maybe? I'm gonna double dip. I can probably just double dip a little bit. So I could use this. I can probably fit it underneath the little overhang like so. I'm gonna try to find some different sofas and armchairs because I don't want to double dip too much. We could do this. We do have the wicker armchairs from inside, so it's not quite double dipping. It's a little bit different. We do have an armchair. Could also do potentially some Jungle Adventure once more because I do think it fits the look. I can also use the ones that came with the set. So I do believe they're in here somewhere. And I will also match the swatch as well. All right, I do like this. I could even make this a backyard barbecue area, which I think would be so cool. Let's shift gears and do some torches perhaps, just to mix up the lighting situation. And I'll even switch it to the night view so we can see what's going on out here. I don't think the wood will actually catch fire in The Sims, but I'm not tempting fate. I'm going to keep it slightly away from the wood, just like this. Hopefully the flame is not too high. I will also grab some sand mounds just to make it a little bit more realistic. Could possibly do an easel, maybe a guitar here. Probably go for this option. It's fairly simple, but I do think it fits the look. Yeah, I could even do snowy escape. I could do something small like this. I think this does still fit with the rest of the decor, and I'll probably just put some pencils on top. I think that should work fairly well. We are definitely needing more plants here. Hopefully I can get more creative with my plants. I feel like I keep reusing the same ones all the time, but you know what? I have my favorites, so please be easy on me. And then for the backyard barbecue, let me actually grab this once more. Gonna do one more set of torches probably along the wall. What do we have for the grill? That is the question. We do have some interesting ones. We do have this oil drum, which could be interesting. I do really like this Pueblo style grill though. I think this could be really cool here. So I'll probably put it along the wall like this. Ooh, yes. The City Living pack actually has some really fun picnic tables, which is kind of a nice splash of color if I'm being honest with you guys. So I'll probably put one just like this. And instead of color, I go for brown. It just looks nice, you guys. I'm sorry. I should have done some color there, but there we go. I could even put maybe some plants along here just to liven this up. I think base game could be fine here. I could probably just use a few of these. They're relatively small, so I think they will fit in okay. Probably just about 3 of them like this. Just gonna finish off this area here with the Eco Lifestyle panels. They are the same ones used in the bedroom, but I do think they make a fairly nice accent wall here. Okay, so I think I'm pretty happy with the backyard area, but if you guys saw the front, it needs a little bit more love, so let me see if I can spruce this up just a little bit. I'm going to try and use this rug from the Get Together pack once more, just to create a little bit more of a walkway, if you will, going to the front entrance. Maybe I can move some inside and maybe scale them down like this. We do still have access to more of these really cool hanging plants, which honestly, you guys, I think they could look really cool. They're hanging a little bit too high, but I think they could still work. So probably place one along this wall here, right above the planter box. All right, so at this point, guys, I kind of wish we had some kind of tree because this is just so barren, but obviously I can't use this. Honestly, you guys, the options are not looking good for simulating some kind of outdoor plant. So I think as much as I'm not too crazy about this option, I'm going to use the palm tree that came with the Paranormal Stuff pack. And I think if I just size it up once, it's passable. Again, not my favorite, but I can probably put a few of these around the lot itself. Yep, it's looking like potted plants, you guys. I think that's pretty much all I can do because we don't have true plants to work with. And I just don't remember all the options from debug. So if I do use something from the build catalog, I'm probably going to ruin my challenge. So here we go. I'm just going to stay safe like this. Okay, I think it's looking all right. I did change out the planter boxes a little bit. I'm going to try and do the whole sand mound situation, but again, I just don't think this is going to work. So it's a bit sad. I do wish I could make them a little bit more believable, but it's honestly very hard, you guys. I could do this and kind of have them pop out of the ground, but unfortunately they will have to be very similar in size, which is going to look a little bit weird. Maybe I can vary them a little bit just so it doesn't look too odd. We do have some size differences that are at least a little bit more dynamic. I don't know why some plants would be potted and some are not, but I mean, it does make it look a little bit more like it's molding into the landscape. So I think this is going to have to do, you guys. I think this is the closest thing I can do here. All right, guys, so we are pretty much done with the entire house. And overall, I think I am pretty happy with the end result. I do like the overall structure of it, given that I had no build mode to work with. But obviously, the part that I'm least satisfied with is the very janky landscaping. So please excuse that. But anyways, we're going to do a quick last minute tour of the build itself. We are switching into tab view now because the camera was just not working very well given the structure of the house. But anyways, starting us off, this is just a view at the final kitchen area. It is fully stocked. It does have all of the appliances your Sims need. And there's also a little dining area here as well next to the garden wall. The front entrance does have a few bits of clutter, mainly as a mudroom space, but we do move on to the one and only master bedroom. I will say that this is probably my favorite spot in here. It definitely feels very warm, cozy, and tropical, like a true beachy getaway, if you will. Plus, we do have a lot of really fun objects from Eco Lifestyle, Snowy Escape, and of course, lots of island living. We do also have the ensuite bathroom, which closes out the inside, and this is probably one of the biggest bathrooms I've done in a while. We do have a little sitting area here with some extra towels. We do have a standing shower, a bathtub, toilet, sink, and also a mirror. Moving back through here next to the kitchen, we do have the backyard space, and this is where a lot of the family activities would happen. So we do have a nice little sitting area here with a guitar, of course, for some music. We do have an easel or painting station, if you will. And of course, we do end this with a picnic table and also a little grill area as well. You do also have some garden pots if you do want to grow some crops here, and that pretty much ends the tour of the inside/outside areas. Overall, I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching this challenge, and for me, I would say this is probably one of the trickiest ones I've done. Especially considering I had no build mode, I had to kind of alt place things. It was definitely a very tedious process, but I do think the end result is fairly fun, and I hope your Sims would enjoy vacationing here as well. Just like always, if you guys have ideas for more build challenges, please feel free to let me know. I love challenges that are weird, offbeat, and unique, so anything is really on the table. With that said, I will catch you all in the next build challenge, and just like always, this has been 𝗏𝗏𝗏 signing off. Thank you so much for watching, guys.